Maybe that's why they have such bad teeth in England. It's just it's so rainy all the time. You can't see anybody, right? No. I love everybody, especially the English. I want to mention on Sunday we and I think we mentioned it on one of our races. We'd been challenged by Elite Brewing, so I wanted to put a shout out to Elite Brewing. We made it a rule that in order for Team TRACKSVR to win, all of our racers had to beat all of their racers. We were unable to do that. We were pretty close. It was a great race. But shout out to Elite Brewing. We're now 0-1 against them, so I'm sure we'll have some more races in the future. But good job, good racing on them. Scuba Steve, honorable mention. Elite Brewing, they're on Edmonton Trail here in Calgary. Great place to go and get some of their awesome beer. They have a lot of beers on tap, a cool military theme. Their food is excellent, and they of course have just reopened to business under health restrictions. So try them out, guys. We certainly like them and love racing against them and having them down. They were gracious in victory and still offered up the prize of beer. So we got to enjoy beer on Sunday and yesterday. Thanks a lot to Elite Brewing. You really made our day. It was a lot of fun racing. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, I had an absolute blast as we get kicked from the server here. Just give me a second. I had an absolute blast. Me and Howard both raced in it. And then one of our customers came in and joined TRACKSVR team to race. And the last 3 laps.
Nick isn't just one of our customers. Come on, Nick's one of the family here.
Nick, yeah, that's true. Nick is a
Nick Toe. Honorable mention to you too, dude. You're the shit. That's all I have to say. You've supported us through thick and thin. Nick is our first paying customer. He's customer number 1 in our database. So I think more than just a customer. Nick is one of the family. We all strived really hard, but like I said, we did set some difficulty for ourselves, and
I ended up getting the worst end of that stick. Oh my lord. 250 kgs going up a hill. Yeah, that's not fun. That's a lot of weight to add to a car.
Rick had a big back end. That's all we have to say about that. Anyways, enough about that. I wanted to make sure that we mentioned them. Thank you so much, guys. And please, anybody out there listening, if you're in Calgary, it's the summer, man. Go hang out on their patio and have a beer and something to nosh on at Elite Brewing. They're awesome. And then also FN40's podcast. If you listen tomorrow night on Wednesday night, I will be live. They're live down at the Blind Beggar. So I thought I'd also mention the Blind Beggar. That's where FN40's podcast broadcasts from. On Wednesdays, they just went live with their grand reopening last week. I will indeed be on their stage tomorrow night. I'm not sure if they're going to interview me or if I'm just going to get brought up to be made fun of. Either way, I'm cool with that. They've just been awesome to deal with. They're a lot of fun. Leanne, Corey, you guys are great. I hope you're listening today. I hope you have some time off to watch our racing. We really enjoy our relationship with you guys. And if you are in town also, stop by the Blind Beggar 7:30, 8 o'clock, and you might just get to see me on stage tomorrow night. So there we go. That should round up all of our mentions. Pretty excited about the race. You can really see the spray coming off those cars. This is going to be probably going to be really interesting today because of you can see those blue stripe tires. Those are wet tires. And it throws up your whole strategy. It regurgitates your strategy on all over you. because now, however you drove the track, you're going to have to actually drive the track differently once that rain really gets down, and you can see that it's quite heavy. Being as it is England, not surprising. They do have a propensity for wet weather there, being an island in the middle of the ocean. And anyways, this is also a fun track, but it is a fairly well used and older track, and quite bumpy. And everyone was talking about that beforehand. Seeing as how these cars do like to get around the track a little bit faster, they do like to kick the back end out, and we saw some of the drifts from the last race. And this is going to be interesting because now your drifts probably won't be nearly as controlled with the wet weather, and it's definitely going to we're going to get lots of weirdly worn rubber. The guys are going to firmly have their rubber struggle shoes on because they need the galoshes today. They need their race galoshes. I'm just happy to be here. You know what? This is and we're live, and it takes a lot of work for us to put this together. You can see all the tech stuff we got going on, screens in the background and whatnot. Rick, we're really going for the feeling that you get while watching F1 racing as well. We like how they do that. It's a very professional setup. Of course, those guys have millions and millions of dollars to do all of that. We do not, or I do not, and so we're on a shoestring budget. We're putting together this production. Please let us know if you guys like it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment. Let us know that we're not just going out into the ether and nobody's watching. Please, we want to know that we're at least entertaining one person. Let us know. One person. I just want to hear from one person
please let
today.
us know we're not alone. As much as we like to talk to each other, we would like to talk to you guys as well. So please, please, please. So we're on board with Jack here, just doing his qualifying run. It is raining. It obviously is not raining hard. Jack doesn't have the wipers on at the moment. I know he had them on a little bit in practice, as it did rain quite heavy in the practice, and then kind of stopped, and then started raining again by the end of practice. So obviously it's raining at Oulton Park currently in England right now. So gonna make things interesting, like Howard was saying. As I just said, we're at Oulton Park, very bumpy, very narrow track. There's not a lot of width. The chicane is going to be an issue. I do believe that Jack's going through right now. Probably a lot of dive bombs going to happen.
There's going to be people shoved into those barricades, and I suspect you're going to see some more DNFs this time from damage. I hope people are minding their P's and Q's better than the last race session with these cars. As every racing league that we've done here with these guys, the second race is always a lot fewer people than the first race session, as they kind of settle out some of the weed out some of the people who don't have the dedication to put in all the races, I guess. And nothing against them. I understand everybody's got busy schedules, but even still with 29, it looks like we're starting with 29 drivers. It's gonna be a mob out there, and I hope our guys just a little bit of luck, a little bit of elbows out, and lots of skill and patience. I hope we get the best result out of today that we can.
Yeah, and so far it's looking very, very good. Andrew's sitting provisionally P2 at the moment, so that's saying something. Remember, he doesn't have any ballast, so the guys that are going to be around him and below him have extra weight added to the cars. Andrew does not, so that's going to give him the upper hand in qualifying and in the race. And if he can get a good takeaway from race 1, if he starts in the front row, that's going to just set him up perfectly for the rest of the race. Speaking of today's race, there are 2 sets of tires. Obviously, you have the softs and the mediums. So this week, the mediums are the main tire, I guess if you want to call it the base tire, and then the softs are the option tires. So they have to use the softs at least one race out of the 3, and then the mediums on the other 2 races, unless they opt to use wet tires because the track conditions are really poor. Then the wet tires will replace the soft tires as their option, so they don't have to use the softs in the other races. I believe a lot of the drivers are gonna will prefer the the softs for the first race, just because get that big gapper off the bat. The drivers at the back probably going to go with mediums just to conserve and keep up and use their soft tires for race 2 or race 3 to be able to have that advantage on the rest of the field in the later races. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting, this race. I'm looking forward to it, simply because it might be raining. Looks like the track is drying up a little bit. The spray is going away. Andrew's really got the wiper blades going, but he is on soft tires. So the top 4 drivers right now are all on softs. But it looks like more than, I would say about 55% of the drivers are on the wet tires just to be safe. Andrew just felt more comfortable being on softs, obviously, as you can tell. Being provisionally second, he's still second place with the with qualifying so far. So,
Oh, good job on Andrew's part. With wet weather, I put up a meme on our Facebook yesterday. I thought it was very, very, very topical, considering this race. So words to live by: race car backwards is race car. Race car upside down is expensive. So hopefully we don't have any race cars upside down today.
well, that being said, we're actually on board. This is Colin's car. He's using Andrew's car because he hasn't had a livery made yet. But in the booth to his left, in the number 26 garage door, right before we went live, there was a blue car in there doing some breakdancing of some sort. He was upside down, he was spinning in circles, he was floating, he was sideways. It was just the weirdest thing ever. So knowing that, yeah, he almost did it. Andrew, looks like qualifying is over. Yeah, qualifying is over. So we have Andrew in P2, we have Colin in P8, and we have Jack in P23. Jack was saying he wasn't feeling this track in car combo, so he's just gonna be pushing as hard as he can to keep up and do his thing. But other than that, Jack will prevail. Jack always does. He never gets down on himself. So, and as we all know, he can in the race. He does better in the race than he does in qualifying, which is where everything counts. So we wanna just not get down on him, because we know that the race is where everything is gonna happen and where things are
And I
gonna be
think
the
once
best
he
part.
gets he gets some rubber burnt and gets out on track and bumping and grinding in amongst the mix, he's probably going to get a little bit more confidence. We all have days where we're just we're not feeling it as much as we could. So we have our main sponsor just walked in the room, bringing lunch for everybody. Hey, come say hi. Come give it a wave. You're on camera. There we go. Yeah. That is our that is the lady that makes everything happen. So there we go. You got honored with her hand.
That's all she
That
needs to
sounds
put
weird.
in. That's all she
Yeah.
needs to put in. Just show the hand, and everybody knows.
Yeah. Talk to the hand, right? Yeah. Discipline, abuse. I don't know. Yeah, anyways. All right. Looks like we're getting ready to end off qualifying here. They're just going to have a couple of quick practice laps. We're going to take a quick break and just pump up the volume on the racers and get ready to go here.
Alrighty, so while everybody's out there eating, I'm gonna enjoy my snack here in a second. Andrew, did qualify P2, which is great for us, or for Andrew, I guess. That's a really good finishing or starting position on the front row, which is great. He's like the Lando Norris. He's full sent it and shown everybody exactly what he can do. Then we have Colin in P8 and Jack actually in P22 by the looks of it. So maybe I think somebody might have DNF'd or something. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens when we get to the actual race. So there's Colin's car. It was selected as Colin, but hey, we're on with Colin's car at the moment. I apologize for the beginning of the stream, guys. I totally forgot to hit the unmute button on my mic, so you could probably see me talking in the camera, but didn't hear anything. That is my fault. I forgot to unmute myself, but we will. I will make sure that is better for the rest of the race, or the races, I guess, and we will go from there. So I'm gonna go and have my food with the drivers and my cohort co-host, and we will be right back. We'll let you guys ride on board with Colin here for a little bit, and then we'll be right back. All right, everybody, I am back. We are just getting into the race here. We've got 55 seconds until lights out. Oh, pardon me. We're gonna ride on board with Andrew, I think, for the first little bit of this first race, just see how things go from his second place starting position, and go from there. Okay, so we have Colin P7, Jack P22. So things have changed a little bit. Oh, he's back in the garage. What is Andrew doing? Oh no. We're having server technical difficulties once again, so we're just waiting for the server host to figure out what the issue is, and then we'll get to racing. So everybody's gonna get a few more minutes of warm up before the race starts. Nope. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Look at that beautiful TRACKSVR car. Absolutely stunning. I mean, you guys get to look at it all the time anyway, because it's at the bottom of the screen too, but better to look at it in full view than... And Andrew is actually sitting beside Tom Donahue's car, so now we're going to be going to the grid. No, okay, no, we're still having some server technical difficulties here, so bear with us. There's a lot going on, so we'll just hang on. All right, now we got grid countdown. Let's see what happens. So far, so good. Okay. Okay, just waiting for Andrew to go to grid here. Yep, there he is. Looks like it's raining pretty heavy. Those wipers are going crazy, so start's going to be fun. I feel sorry for everybody behind P1 and P2, just because you're going to have all that spray in your face, and it makes things very, very difficult to see, as we all know when we're out driving around in rainstorms. Oh, we're back to warm up. They're really having some major server difficulties here, so we just gotta bear with them. Things always end up working themselves out. And we are sitting at 29 cars this race instead of the 40, I think it was 41 in the first round. So that just goes to show 12 people have decided that, nope, we're not going to race. And it looks like Colin is in P9 and Jack is in P23. Andrew is still P2, but Colin and Jack seem to keep bouncing around, so I think that was the issue. They were just trying to make sure, because now Colin's in P8, so I'm just thinking that they were having issues trying to remember where everybody was. Oh, yeah, look at... Yeah. All right, let's go on board with Andrew here. Looks like everything is honky-dory this time around. So let's get into it. I'm hearing good things from the pit lane. All right, Howard's gonna head to the pit lane to give us the full rundown of the start from Andrew and Jack, as he will have full view of both cars. So you can see Andrew there, dead center of your screen, and then Colin 3 cars back behind him. And here we go, off to the races, green flag waved.
Go, 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 go. Oh boy, it is raining hard.
That track is very shiny, showing a lot of water. Andrew with an unlucky turn 1. Got some clean driving now around. Oh yeah, As you guys can see, driving is going to be a lot more difficult in the rain. We're going to get a little bit of lagginess, I think, because the rain always causes some lag on the server. So
Yeah, it just has to render all of that graphically, so that can be taxing. Ooh, big group. Jack got out of it though. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, Jack just got hit.
oh, I think we're going to pop back here to Jack. I think looks like Colin lost a couple places too. Hop back on board with Jack. Where is he? I hope one of those white cars wasn't him. No, there he is. Looks like Jack had a little bit of a spin. A little bit of a spin or got taken out. I'm not sure. Howard, did you see what happened? Oh, big!
Yeah.
Oh, Jack's car's getting thrown all over the place.
Yeah, the first one was other drivers as well. It's the same shenanigans from last week. These guys got no spatial awareness, and I don't know what to say.
Well, it looks like we've already got one DNF. I'm going to assume from that guy that was left behind, there's already somebody in the pit lane, and the race just started. We did one lap. Haven't even done one full lap yet, and there's already a bunch of shenanigans. So that's never a good sign. Jack has just given us confirmation he has been hit twice already. He can hear me talking. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I should quiet down a little bit. I don't know.
I'm gonna go check on Jack's damage level and just see where he's at, and see if he's gonna be able to manage this.
Yeah, that's a good call, because it looked like he should have taken damage from that second one. I don't know. Oh, yeah, he's got damage for sure. He's having a hard time. He's got to back it up. Let's go on board. Let's see if we can find Colin here. See what's going on with him. Oh, cars off the track all over the place. Okay, there's Colin. Andrew's just up the road.
Jack has the suspension and steering damage, and very major hard blue damage on most of his front panels, which was probably affecting his cooling as well. So hopefully he can pull through.
Yeah, that would be expected after just seeing the second crash. I figured as much, and then he broke going to the hairpin. I could tell there must have been suspension damage there, because everything locked right up and he just spun right out. So if he just got to persevere. He's back in 26th. Looks like there's 2 DNFs at the moment, so we're doing good. That's a good thing for us. Clean through the hairpin, which is surprising. We're on board with Colin right now, just so everybody's aware. I don't know if Andrew has his headlights on, but Andrew said he will put his headlights on so I can tell the difference, because they're using the same livery. So thank God for that. Andrew's still in P3, so he's only lost 1 spot. Colin's got a wicked battle here. This is a big pack. Man, that road is shiny.
Yeah, it's really wet. Just seeing what the guys are watching, looking out their windshields. I don't know how they are driving. It is so wet, especially when you're in amongst cars like this, that even your wipers cannot keep up. Look at how fast Colin's wipers going, and I bet you he can see maybe a little bit of the car in front of him.
Yeah, it's I've done some wet racing on this too, and once you're right behind a car like this battle here, you can't see a dang thing. The best place to be is either right up to their bumper, so you can see those taillights when they light up, or be far enough back that you can still have time to brake and not have to worry about it. So it is sketchy racing in the rain for these drivers. If you ever want to try it, come on down. We'll put you in a car for a couple laps. We'll put you behind one of us, and we'll let you go. So, oh, looks like Jack has DNF'd. The damage has been too much. And yeah, just getting Howard's just out getting the full view right now. Damage does not take a short time to repair. He probably would have been sitting in the pits for like 2 minutes. So but we're doing good.
So, just an update, Jack has decided that with the level of damage, the car was nearly undrivable, pretty much undrivable. He would have had to have sit in the pits. He did get a timer, and it was for like over 5 minutes in the pits. So to fix the damage that he had, and so he made a judgment call and said, I can barely drive in this anyways. The rain is so bad that again, what we were talking about, and then you put in a whole bunch of steering and suspension damage. His wheel was cocked fully almost to the right, a half turn. So yeah, just made the car undrivable. We'll have to deal with that as racing, and when they put the call out for penalties and stuff, and then we'll definitely be talking about that and the two guys that hit him. So
yeah, that's very unfortunate, and I could totally understand that it would take about 5 or 6 minutes to repair all the damage that he had just from that one crash where he got launched in the air and stuff. So, but as we've been riding on board with Colin here, there's been cars off the track almost every corner. It's like these guys are kids that are just learning how to drive a car for the first time. They just can't figure it out. They can't handle them. You can see the driving line is trying to dry out, but according to the live timing, the track is at 97% wetness. So it's almost covered fully in water, which is never a good thing. And Colin's even having a hard time with this corner, this long right-hander. He keeps going wide. Kept it on track that time, but the last 2 laps he's been struggling with. So, and we're only 5 laps in, which is not good.
Yeah, and at what point, I'm not sure that I get it, but in the real world, if it was this wet, they may cancel the race because it's unsafe, right? So we're all kind of doing this for fun, and I'm just not sure why we would continue with this level of weather without adjusting it. But that's decisions made by the race league and the race director. Sim racing, you can create random weather, and you can also program in weather, but at some point you got to make a determination whether it's even doable given that people are just doing this for fun.
Colin with a big send. He must have been a little bit late on the brakes. Big send up the inside of a hairpin. Very good gentleman rules to let the guy keep the spot instead of spinning him out. So very well on him. Going to the chicane, another hard braking point. Everybody seems to have made it through pretty. Oh, that guy in the background did not make it through clean. He's going to bounce off those barriers and probably caused a collision in the background. Yeah, it looks like this car hit the barrier and the rest of the cars behind him got slowed up. So let's go catch up with Andrew here. There he is. He does have his headlights on. He's all by himself. I think he's just trying to keep the car on the track. He does have a 9-second gap to the car behind, so he's got a pretty big window for messing up. And we're only 7 laps in, so we got 9 laps left. Like, Andrew's just got to keep the car on track. That's really all he's got to do. Keep out of trouble and keep it on track and finish P3. That's all he wants, I think, at this point. That's all I would want anyway. Especially after all the carnage, and he probably would have heard that Jack got up and out of the car. So
yeah, these guys are communicating. They are all on radio with each other, so he would know. And at this point, like you said, Rick, I think just salvaging the best result possible is probably best.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Colin's having a wicked battle. for P7, and it looks like they're catching up to 6, 5, and 4. So that group of 3 cars just in front of Colin and this little Vauxhall here are or MG9 are P6, 5, and 4, or they're lap cars. I can't tell. But this is going to be a good little battle just to get one position is going to be a big gain considering all things considered. So
knowing Colin like I do, I can see him. He's hunting that blue and yellow and white car down, and I can see him at least trying to gain that spot before the end of the race.
And I think that'll be good enough. Just get past him and stay there, and just hope you don't get taken out. And I think that's what a lot of these drivers up in the top 10 are trying to do, is just not get taken out. And if they start passing back markers, that's when things are going to be pretty scary, because the back markers are going to be the ones that were causing the problems to begin with. So we are we're just hoping and praying that these 2 guys can make it through. Andrew's now got a almost 11-second gap to the car behind, so massive amount of room for Andrew. He's got a 1.5-second gap to the car in front to P2, and then P2 to P1 is like a 4-second gap. So top 3 are pretty spread out at this point. They're all just going to be trying to hang on to their positions. Another car off, so that's going to be a spot. Oh no, yep, that is a spot for Colin. So they that car getting spun off track or spinning off track in the hairpin is giving Colin a free spot. Holy, I cannot talk today. I apologize for that. But this is a very good race. Like these 2 are pulling away from the group behind now, and they are gaining on the pack in front. So it's 3 packs of 2 cars at this point. The battle for 6th right now is what Colin is in, and then the battle ahead of them is battle for P4, and the battle behind is battle for P8. So no, it's not even a battle for P8 anymore. It's kind of just there. Andrew or Colin's going to send it on the outside. Oh, they both, yeah, that's clean. Very clean. Very well done by Colin. Very, very well done. Is he going to get the drag? Yep, that little MG is going to get the draft down the main straight here. Coming to turn 1. Don't kill each other. Very well done. Colin made it stick. Very, very good drive by Colin.
Nicely done, Colin. I told you he was hunting him. I know Colin, and I can see just from his driving when he's going after somebody.
Yeah, it was a very, very nice move. Why are we riding up over them? We want to ride on board with that, or Colin. Oh, sketchy going to the hairpin. That was a pretty clean. I would give that. That was pretty clean. Those 2 cars behind, that was pretty clean. Now to drag race into the chicane. Who's going to have the... I want to actually right on board with this. Who's going to have the bigger balls? Side by side in the chicane. Yeah, he had to let him have it. That would have ended in major catastrophe for both cars if that little MG tried to keep the spot. But now Colin can focus on... This is P5 and P4. So this is the battle to get a really, really good finish now. And there is about 6.5 laps left. So Colin is doing a very, very good job. And Andrew has now pulled a 12-second gap to the car behind. However, he's got a 3-second gap to second, and second's got a 2-second gap to first. So second place is starting to push to catch first place.
Good on Thomas Golab. He's our race director too, I think.
Yeah,
or at least
I think
he
he's
runs
the organizer. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he runs this sim league. So for him to be competing and actually having a decent result, unfortunately, usually he ends up getting taken out, I think, and DNFing.
Yeah, I think every race in the F3s he DNF'd every single race. I don't know if that was on purpose, because he had to check something on the server side or what, but it's good to actually see him, like Howard says, good to actually get to see him competing very well. Obviously, he puts into practice in these cars to make sure that they are all relatively even with each other, And these are actually a very close representation of the real life BTCCs. I was looking at the lap times that these guys were doing and what the real life cars do at this exact track, and they are like pinpoint even. I know Thomas did a 126.1. I think it was a quali run. The fastest qualifying time on this track is a 125.4 in these cars. So being that close in a sim, that's very, very impressive. So that just goes to show you how close sim racing is to real life racing when you can figure it out. So
Absolutely, Rick. Absolutely. You're really coming along as a streaming wizard here, bud. Your play-by-play is getting excellent. Me, on the other hand, I don't know what you're gonna do with me.
that's why you're here, because we don't know what we're gonna do with you yet. Yeah, it's just every little bit I'm trying to research more and more, just learn a little bit more about all the tracks and stuff. Oulton Park, I've only ever raced on once, and it was more of a hot lap session to win a prize, and I ended up getting like 10th out of like 400 people. So I didn't win my prize, but that's okay. And it was on a different sim game as well. But
Many moons ago, we had one of our hot lapping events at Oulton Park with Formula BMWs, and I was in that final race and didn't finish last. So I have a little bit of experience as well at Oulton Park. Although I do have to say, I think I prefer some smaller Formula vehicles here than the touring cars. It just they can take the bumpy roads a little bit better, I think. But back to the race here, I can see it in Colin just again in the way that he's driving. I can see him nosing up. He's looking for an overtake on this purple and yellow car right in front of him here.
yeah, and the that pink and blue one behind is really making a push. This group of 4 cars has really pulled a gap to the group behind. So this is a 4-way battle for fourth place. This is a very, very, very close race for fourth, and there is just, I'm gonna say they just started lap 12, so there is
Yeah, I thought he was going to make the overtake. He was going to try for it. That was a good little move, but we'll see what happens. It also has allowed this other car behind him to gain a little bit of position on him.
The car behind Colin at the moment, the car behind Colin is actually sitting second place in the drivers' championship. So that pink and blue car, nice. Good job on Colin. Yeah, force him out. Well done.
That was elbows out for sure. Well done.
If anybody watched the Austrian Grand Prix this weekend, and we all saw the FIA throwing out penalties like it was candy, they would have given that a penalty. That would have been a full-blown penalty, because they would have said, "Oh, Colin forced the car off track," when in reality, it was just side-by-side racing. It was literally just a racing incident. But now they've allowed that car way behind to really catch up. Now it's going to be a 5-way battle for fourth.
Speaking of F1, as you can see right here, we've got some nice merchandise. I'm wearing a nice merchandise. We also have, if anybody's interested in you know any F1 authentic F1 merchandise, we have a very good selection down here at TRACKSVR.
Yeah, and I'll put a better picture of that hat up before the second race starts. I just don't want to do it now because the hat's going to take up the entire screen, and we don't want to. Oh, that curb of death! That car was doing a little jig going across those curbs. That was not fun to watch. Actually, it was pretty fun to watch. I don't think it was fun for him though.
That's one of those brown pants moments, as you call them, Rick.
The brown streak or brown pants, yeah. I wonder we have to go change those pants after the race. This is very, very close. That the Subaru, I can't even tell. It's a Subaru something. I don't know what the other word is. That yellowy burgundy car, really trying to force it up the inside in the hairpin. That actually kind of allowed Colin to really catch up, and Dennis Yashenko in the pink and blue car in the background there lost a little bit of time going wide out of the chicane. Colin's hunting. Yeah, Colin's got the hunter's blood on now, so he's gonna be pulling in that little blue and white car. It's the last four laps of the race, so this is gonna be where things start to get interesting. The battle for first is gonna start to heat up here too. They're now within a second of each other, and Andrew's sitting very, very comfortably in P3. He's got a 5-second gap to P2 and a 15-second gap to P4. So that's this group here actually. So he's got 15 seconds to these guys. That was
We had another DNF, looks like, off track there.
I think that was just a back marker car, because we do have a couple guys that are just showing his laps down. So I'm gonna assume that it might have just been a back marker getting out of the way. Colin's looking. He's looking. Yeah. All the defending going down into turn 1 or turn 2, coming down the hill. Very difficult braking point. Coming down the hill, all that weight wants to go to the front. And the Subaru being the only rear-wheel drive car in the group or whatever, all that weight in the front makes the rear end. Oh, he's got the little tap. Okay, drag race to the chicane. Drag race to the chicane. Colin's got P5 at the moment. This is a drag race. Colin will easily have the line going into the chicane. Just edges in front. You got to flirt with that red and yellow wall in the entrance of the chicane. But very well done. He got the little nudge from that pink and blue car, and it just sent him right through the hairpin. That was I'm gonna say that was a very nice move, but it was a very handy help from the car behind him. It does look like...
if you can't trust your friends, you might as well trust your enemies.
Hey man, what do they say? Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. He definitely did that here. It looks like it's starting to dry up a little bit. As I jinx Colin into going wide. Oh, he's gonna lose that spot. Now he's in P6. That's gonna hurt his line. He's got to keep that car as fat as possible. Keep it right down the middle of the track. Very well done defending. Very, very well done. Oh, a little bit squirrely. Yeah, this is a good little battle. Of course, P5 is now driving away. With all the defending and stuff. Oh, a tap going into the braking zone. Well done on that driver, to good recovery. Colin doing very, very well. He's up 1 position. He did start P8. He's in P7. We know he can get past this guy. He's trying to force it up the inside. They have 2.5 laps left, so that's still lots of time. We're doing 1.5 minute lap times, so he's still got, say, 4 minutes of race left to pass this car. That was a little bit too close for comfort. Tires might be showing a little bit of wear. Of course, these wet tires in a very wet track aren't going to wear out as fast, but you can see the track starting to dry out a little bit. So the rain has stopped. I'm showing an 84% wet track, so we have lost 15% wetness. Just from the cars driving on it. So
no, and that's why anybody who's watching that doesn't know how racetracks work, maybe as you drive over it, wet tires, what they do is evacuate water to the sides. So they'll have grooves that go towards the center of the tire. And make sure that the water is going off to the sides, and that's why you get that dry track in the middle. Ironically enough, as you do that and dry the track out, those wet tires become worse to drive on.
Yep. However, you don't want to swap to soft tires, or to any other tire other than the wet tires, because your chances of staying on track. Your chances of staying on track are a little more difficult if you get off that driving line like a hare. Those slick tires get very angry and just spins. So Colin is hungry. He's got 1.5 laps left. It was a very good race.
I think, unless buddy in front makes a mistake in 6, Matthew, Colin's probably gonna have to be satisfied with 7th. But I just, again, no one calling the way I do. Look at him, there he goes. He is definitely hungry and hunting for that spot ahead of this blue and white car here.
And Matthew Clip, speaking of him, he's sitting 3rd in the point standings after round 1. So he's hungry to not lose the spot, because he knows if he loses the spot, he's going to lose his gap to the places behind him. We got that'll be race over. Yep, looks like that was the end of the race.
So, well raced. I'm gonna go see, make sure we pump up Jack for this next race, because of course he can do better, and we just need to. Oh, and
you're trying to full
yeah.
up the tires. I think he managed it while we were doing some practice. I think he managed it, but I think because the track is wet and the grass is so wet, doesn't have enough grip to send it down the road first, to send it up over the hill. He might have also thought about the last seconds. So, but that was a very good race to watch on Colin's perspective. So Colin had a very good battle. Like Howard said, we got to pump up Jack here a little bit. I think we're going to get a 5-minute intermission between this race and next race. So I am going to go and give my congratulations and all that to the drivers. Oh, excuse me. And I will, I'll be right back.
Have you been locked up all year? Tired of the same old routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR. We have 12 full-motion simulators incorporating VR technology to put you in the driver's seat of a race car. With our team of sim experts, we can help guide you whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. From Ferrari to AlphaTauri and all the teams in between, we've got the largest selection of F1 racing merchandise in Western Canada. We clean all the equipment before and after each use and disinfect all high touch points. Forget about the Zoom presentation on Monday. Forget about the holes in the wall for your kids' virtual soccer practice. Bring your future champions down here. We're open for retail viewing and product testing. We want to bring our passion for racing to you here at TRACKSVR.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we are, oh, that was a loud noise. We are just letting them do a little bit more warm up, I think, here, getting into race number 2. So it looks like we had Andrew finished P3, Colin finished P7, and poor Jack with the DNF because of all the damage at the beginning. I mean, that's not his fault at all. Looks like the guys are going to be going out. There is no rain, so that's good, but the track is still very, very wet. It did dry out a little bit in the middle of that transition from race 1 to race 2, so we're at 78% wetness at the moment. Let's go on board with Colin here. Everybody's got to get on a track. Oh, yep. Okay, Colin's car is deciding to have I don't know what's going on. That's probably just lag issues. I'm gonna say it's just lag issues. So we do have Colin and Andrew are both going to be carrying extra weight. So Andrew's going to be carrying an extra 48 kilograms, and Colin's going to be carrying an extra 24 kilograms. So it's like 0.03 of a second per kilogram difference in race pace. So, but here we go, race start. Colin with a little bit of a slow start.
Jack, really good start. Oh, I'm just watching him right now. He got a really good start.
Let's go back to Jack. Where is he? I see him there. Oh, we're going the wrong way. We got to go this way. I just seen him. Where'd he go? There he is. There's our boy Jack. Looks like he had a good start. I don't know what position he would have started in with the DNF. I think it would have been like second or third last. But he's up in 23rd right now, so wicked start.
You can really see how the weight is affecting Andrew's drive. The car is a bit of a beast, more of a beast in the corners.
And as you guys can see, the Kimi Räikkönen hat that we were showing off in the first race is now in the top right-hand corner there, so you guys can take a look at it. Oh no, Jack with more unluckiness. Looks like he had somebody braking way too early or way too hard, and Jack touched him a little bit, knocked him off track, and then Jack gets punted.
So once again, within one lap of the race starting, Jack has some major front end damage and left side panel damage. So
yeah, this is turning out to be just a gong show. This I don't want to say the whole series is going to be like this. They're going to weed out the bad ones the more we race and the later on. But it looks like we've already had one DNF and we didn't even finish a lap. We're just in turn 2 of the second lap, and we've already had a DNF. So, I mean, these guys need to get their shit together. It did rain a little bit. It's not raining anymore. The track is now at 79% wetness, so it added a little bit more moisture to the track, but we should be able to get rid of it. Looks like there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Somebody else is off in Sector 1. Jack going to the chicane. Very well done, yeah. He's going to be battling with that damage like Howard said, so as long as he just holds on, going off the track on a straight line. I don't know what to say, guys. Oh, he's on softs, that's why. Why would you go out on soft tires when the track is at 80% wetness? Like, that's just a death wish. This guy in front of Jack literally has a death wish. Like, he's got to brake probably 100 to 200 feet sooner. He's got to get on the power way later. Like, almost comes across that's a very dangerous re-entry.
Yeah, good thing for Jack that he missed him this time. Jack is pretty determined. Oh yeah, there we go.
Nice drift. That was very nice drift.
Oh, he caught that. Yeah, he is dealing with a lot of damage again. I suspect his suspension and steering has been affected again. It didn't look like his steering wheel was caught quite as bad, but I think he's going to try and drive through this race with that damage.
Yeah, he's gonna. I think he'll persevere unless he gets hit one more time. Like that guy can't even stay on the track. Like, dude, just go into the pits, put some wet tires on, and then come back out. You're a danger to yourself and everybody else on the track. Second time you've been passed because you keep going wide because you can't control those soft tires on the wet track. But Jack doing a very good job. He's actually got a gap now to that car behind, that danger to society. Now he's just got to push and catch this guy in front of him. It looks like he's got the pace to keep up with the car in front. He was just being held up by that. Oh no, that would have been the damage to his car that caused that. 100% would have been the damage to his car that caused that spin.
Like he's still in it. I'm not sure how bad his damage is. I'll go take a look and see if we can find out here.
Yeah, he is definitely dealing with a lot of damage. He is gonna make a place though. Gonna make one of those places back. That's good. Looks like we've had another DNF. Yeah, there are a few cars out there on soft tires. Yeah, that damage is. Yeah, that damage is just stupid. It's not doing any good.
No, what's happening is he's totally understeering into the corners. So again, he's calling it here. Really too bad for Jack. I know he was hoping to have a better result in this race, but it is what it is. As we say, shit, it does happen.
That is 150% correct. Shit does happen. Oh, Colin with a big drift. Keeps on track. It's gonna really lose his momentum going down this the start-finish straight here. But he kept it on track. That was very well done. Colin back into P9. Andrew's still sitting pretty in P3. He's pretty much in no man's land. He's got a 3-second gap to second and a 3-second gap to fourth. So he's all alone for a bit. I mean, on a wet track, 3 seconds is not a lot of time on a wet track, considering you've been at one time or just get a little bit squirrely once and that time is now lost. The battle for first is looking to be a fierce one. They are swapping back and forth every lap or so. So we're only 5 laps in. We have 3 DNFs. And we're just starting to see the track start to dry up a little bit more. So Colin really flirting with that red and white little tire barrier there on the entrance to the chicane. I don't know if I'd be getting that comfortable with it, but whatever. This is a good little battle. This is the battle for 8th we're watching right now. Colin and Lucas Krawczyk. Krawczyk. A little bit of a spinny. Nothing major though.
It's really it's hard to catch when your car is in perfect condition, as you guys can see. You know, Colin has to really work at catching that. But when you have a situation like Jack did, where you have a lot of damage and your car just kind of nosedives into the corners and you don't have any steering control at that point, and especially if you have any suspension damage, your brakes will tend to lock up.
This just in, looks like second place has DNF'd, so Andrew is now sitting in second place. I don't know what happened, but he's second place, spun or something, who knows? Got taken out by a back marker. It can't be a back marker because there is none yet. So we have 4 DNFs, we're 6 laps done. Colin is in a battle for 8th. Very nice to the chicane. A little bit bouncy. This track is very difficult on these cars. It's so bouncy, lots of elevation change. The braking points are very, very hard on these cars, especially the front wheel drive ones. Let's go on board with Andrew here for a bit. We haven't been on board with him. There he is. There's Andrew. He's got
all alone, little Andrew.
He's not that far. He's got a 2.5 gap to first place, so he might know that first place is in the running.
Yeah, I think knowing Andrew the way that I do, he definitely knows that he's in the running for first. I would suspect in the next 3 or 4 laps here to see Andrew really pull up to Thomas and give him a run for the money.
Yeah, he's definitely pushing hard because he's pulling a larger gap to the car in front, but I think Thomas is also pushing hard as well, just to let's actually go on board with Thomas here. Oh, wrong camera angle. I thought I was gonna be looking the other way, but look at that gap. It's not a very big gap coming out of the chicane, and that is what a 2-second gap looked like. Yeah, he's consistently about the 1.8 to 2 second gap now, so Thomas is definitely pushing, knowing that he's got Andrew hot on his heels. And Andrew is definitely pushing because he's now up to a 5-second gap to the car behind, so he's put another second between himself and third place. So this is very, very good. Colin's up in 8th now, and he's kind of in no man's land as well, so yeah, there's Colin. He's kind of in no man's land all by himself. That's good. At least they can both, or he can push now. He is faster than the guy behind, so Colin can push and try to catch up to 7th.
Which is not out of the realm of possibilities here, especially given that there isn't anybody to slow him up. Colin can really go for it, and find the limits of what the car will do with wet tires on this wet and bumpy track.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the track is drying out some more. It's at 76% wetness, and it looks like, I'm just looking at the live timing, Vlad Tokarev, the person that was in 2nd place, did not DNF. They went into the pit lanes, so they're 2 laps down now. Probably just hoping they can get into the top 10 or top 15 for this series to get points. That's looking to be a long way away. That's a lot of spots he's got to make up in a short amount of time. So,
or at least just to finish and say that you did. I mean, regardless of points, it's saying something to finish the race, even through adversity.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at some point you gotta call it. If the damage is that massive, that it's going to take too long to fix or what have you, just to finish, that sometimes can be a win for those drivers. So
yep, I know that for sure. As you can see, Colin is sometimes going off of that dry line. That's basically just to cool the wet tires off, just because that dry line is starting to dry out quite a bit, and it's going to heat these wet tires up pretty quick. So he constantly goes off into those darker patches of the straights just to cool the wet tires down, so they have more grip going into the corners.
I just don't get the 3 drivers who put softs on for this race. I really don't understand your reasoning or logic. So if you're listening to 3 drivers later on, send us in a comment and let us know why you thought going on slicks was a good idea.
I mean, I will give it to one of them. One of them is in the top 15. I don't know how. He does have like the 4th fastest lap, but he's not consistent. Like he can't keep those times consistently. This is definitely a wet tire race. You don't want to be on soft tires for this race at all. Colin is just having a nice little Tuesday race. Yeah, really hard braking point. You throw it around that left-hander, and then you have to come to hit the brakes as soon as you come out of it to go to the double apex right-hander, and then down this main straight to the really long, slow right-hander to come down the hill on the start-finish straight to come back up the hill on the start-finish straight.
I believe that's called the deer leap.
Yep.
Yep.
And then there is the hill after the hairpin is called the hilltop. Like, get more creative. Come on, Britain, let's go. Let's get more creative with these names. They've been around for long enough.
Well, half of their little towns end in ton because, you know, this thing ton. We digress. Sorry, England. We're razzing you today.
We're just razzing you because you guys are doing good in the Euro Cup or whatever it is.
Yeah, go Three Lions. You know, any other teams that I might have cheered for. I definitely want to see England have some success. It's been too long.
Yeah. Yeah, that track is definitely drying up. That line is really dry compared to the rest of the track. So, as you can see coming on the straights, there's no spray unless you go into those darker patches. Then you start to get the spray. Oh, Colin with the slide.
Good, he caught it good.
Andrew's still holding strong. It's got about a second to a second and a half gap to first place. He is pulling on. There's Andrew. He's got like a 3/4 of a second gap. He must have had a wicked launch out of one of the corners. He's caught him.
Yeah, this is a good race. It's I told you he's going to be hunting Thomas down for first place here.
We got 6 laps left. And the track is really starting to dry out now. And just so you all know, they can set the like the air temperature and the track temperature before the race. So right now we're sitting at 15 degrees in the air and then 29 degrees on the track. So the track is actually 29 degrees. Celsius, or I'm going to assume it's Celsius because that doesn't sound right for Fahrenheit.
Why we love R Factor 2. We'll give them a props here. Best physics, both real road, car, and weather physics. I think in the sim racing industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andrew's pushing now. Thomas has been the fastest on this track through all the practice and the qualifying and everything so far. So for Andrew to be catching / keeping up with him is really saying a lot, because Thomas had the fastest time in practice by like half a second, I think, and he only beat Andrew by a 1/10 of a second, I think, in qualifying. So
Andrew came in pretty determined after
last week.
Yeah, exactly. He was determined that he wasn't gonna, and he even said it, I think, in the interview at the end of the racing last week. If that's how they want to race, that's fine. Just don't cry like little babies when it happens to you.
Which is probably the best way to put it. Like I said, he has been watching a lot of Dale Earnhardt stuff. If any of you know who Dale Earnhardt is from NASCAR, you'll know exactly what that means. Because he is the push and pass king. Yeah, this is a good little battle now. He's less than a second. He's got 7/10. Oh, he really had a good run down that corner, out of that corner. He gained like a 1/10 and a half just coming out of that corner alone. Slow right-hander. This is going to be where it matters. He's got to have a really good drive out down the main straight here. Looks like Thomas had a better run out of the corner. Andrew's just got to keep it nice and calm. Oh, excuse me.
Are we boring you, Rick?
No, I don't know what that was. Sorry. Coming into turn 2, really hard. It's not a difficult braking point. Well, it is a difficult braking point because you're braking and steering at the same time and going down a hill, and then you're wet now, so it's like even worse.
Just so all of you know, if you don't live in the area, we just got out of a pretty decent heat wave last week. Temperatures that most of us aren't used to. A lot of our homes aren't air conditioned or necessarily insulated to keep cool air in. And so a lot of us are operating on a lot less sleep than we are normally used to.
Yeah, it's more like we're trying to catch up from that heat wave. It was brutal. I know I was bagged like 3 days into it. Oh, my brain was just fried. But this is like looks like Andrew is faster in sector 2. And then they're even in sector 3 until they come out of the last corner. Thomas just has the better drive out of this last slow corner. So we'll see. Andrew late braked into it to try to catch some ground.
Oh, he did catch a little bit of time that
A
time.
little bit of time, yeah.
Got another tenth on him. So
Looks like that one of the guys with the soft tires has DNF'd again. So 2 soft tire guys have DNF'd. The other one is still sitting pretty in 14th. So, I mean, I can't say too much bad about it. I'm gonna hop back to Colin here for a quick second. I know we're watching the battle for first, but Colin is in a wicked battle for 4th at the moment, so we got 3 laps left. Oh, Colin's got the line going to the hairpin. P6. Can he hold on? Oh, and this is the guy who was battling with last race. Tries to force the inside line, no luck. Coming to the chicane. No deaths, that's a good thing. Bumper to bumper racing, gotta love it. Yeah, Colin's up. Colin's in 6th, yeah. This is the battle for 5th right now. And he's actually battling the guy that he was battling last race.
I know. I was about to say it's the same 3 cars.
It's just like, can we have something different? Nah, this is good. We wanna have the nice close battle. Oh!
Oh, there we go. I saw him go for the inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
FIA, would that be a penalty? Because they were like 2 car widths apart from each other.
That would not be a penalty.
Knowing the FIA, who knows? Anything's a penalty to the FIA. Nah, but that was a very, very good pass for 5th place. And there is 2 laps left. This guy's going to throw it up on the outside of turn 2. Colin's going to force him. Oh,
okay,
that's a
that's
little bit of a dick move.
That was bad.
That was a little bit of a dick move. That's going to put Colin down to P9. Oh no, it's going to put Colin out of P12. And P13, yep. Now he's in the battle for... Oh, now he's just getting pushed along, like, Jesus. Oh, all 3 drivers... Well, Colin didn't late brake. Colin got pushed into a late brake. These guys are just being ignorant SOBs now. That Adrian Flux car is literally just pushing these guys around the track. He's not even... No care in the world at the moment, like... Oh, a little bit of a leg spike there. I'm surprised Colin didn't just force it up the inside there. That's one thing Andrew and Colin know is the retaliation is usually what gets the penalty. So if you don't retaliate, you just report them at the end of the race and let them get the penalty instead of you getting the penalty for retaliation. Colin I'm going to say Colin's got a little bit of front end damage.
Imagine hitting that tire barrier as hard as he did. He probably has front end damage, probably damage to his cooling area, probably some suspension and possibly some steering damage. Looks like he's just trying to manage.
Andrew has just pulled into first place. I just saw it. That's what I was trying to get to as fast as I could. Why did he?
Probably he had
get a slipstream, or he.
Or no, he felt that he took an unfair overtake.
Yeah. This is the kind of racing that we like to see. It's gentleman's racing, right? Nobody's pushing each other off the track and then taking the spot. If you get an unfair overtake, you slow down, let them have the spot back. Gentleman's rules around here, always better than being the dick. This is also a very good race, though.
No, Richard, you're the only dick around here.
That's very true.
Sorry, everyone. We like to bug each other down here at TRACKSVR. These guys all to my face tell me what an awesome boss I am, but I know really underneath that they're just waiting to talk about me.
Andrew's cooling off those tires. That will be the end of the race. So Andrew with a P2 finish. Very well done. That was very well raced by both drivers. And poor Colin finished P15 after getting taken out unfairly. That was honestly, that was a little bit of BS. There will most likely be an incident report put out for that. If there isn't, I will be very surprised. But that was a really poor overtake by that driver. But needless to say, we're gonna go to race 3 here quick. So we're just gonna have a quick little intermission, and then we will go to race 3 and see what happens.
Have you been locked up all year? Tired of the same old routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR. We have 12 full-motion simulators incorporating VR technology to put you in the driver's seat of a race car. With our team of sim experts, we can help guide you whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. From Ferrari to AlphaTauri and all the teams in between, we've got the largest selection of F1 racing merchandise in Western Canada. We clean all the equipment before and after each use and disinfect all high touch points. Forget about the Zoom presentation on Monday. Forget about the holes in the wall for your kids' virtual soccer practice. Bring your future champions down here. We're open for retail viewing and product testing. We want to bring our passion for racing to you here at TRACKSVR.
you couldn't dance, what would you do? Suicide? Suicide?
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are just getting ready for race 3 here, where we have, where is everybody? There's Andrew there. He's in the pits. They just finished doing some practice. Jack's out here doing some practice. I think they were just trying to see what the softs or medium tires would feel like. So they're out there doing some practice right now. We're getting into race 3 here. This is where things are going to get interesting and a little bit confusing. So the race director guy is going to be putting the numbers 6 to 12 in a hat or a random number generator or whatever, and he's going to pull one at random. And say he pulls 8, the top 8 drivers will be reverse grid. If he pulls 12, the top 12 drivers will be reverse grid. So with Andrew finishing P2, he's going to either start P5. He can start anywhere from P5 to P11. So we're just waiting on that. And he's also going to have 54 kilograms of weight added.
Ballast,
the
which
rest
we
of our
explained
drivers
last
are not
week.
going to have any weight. And it looks like we've had a couple more people drop out for this race. I know I was looking at the Discord. It looked like a lot of people had to go. It's getting super late where they are, so.
Yeah, don't forget everybody. This race league is the server is in Europe. So the time zone is I think we're getting close to like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night here. Here we go, getting ready for lights out. Good luck to our drivers.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to ride on board with Jack for the first bit of this race and see what happens. Hopefully he can have a much nicer race this time instead of the last 2 where he just gets pushed around the track. We don't want that to happen. So here we go. Jack has started on the wet tires, so he gets a really good launch on that driver on the softs. A couple other drivers on soft tires too. Actually, it looks like a lot of the fields are on soft, so Jack is on wets. He's going to have the advantage for at least the first... Oh, Jesus. I don't know if Jack took any damage from that.
Doesn't look like it. It looks like he got away clean. A little bit of very, very minor front end damage. Wow, there's big pack shakeup at the front here with Andrew
Okay,
as well.
that's a lot better than the last 2 races, which is good. There's people everywhere off the track. So it looks like Andrew started P7 and he's up into P6 now, and Colin's up into P12. So Colin would have started at P15, remember? He's already gained 3 spots, so that's good.
Jack has gained 5 spots, so I think the wet tires might not be a bad option. He's sticking to the wet line in this race, and that gives him some more options as well.
Yeah, I feel like the wet tires are probably the better bet to start this race anyway. Just, I mean, just off the start, Jack gained like 3 places before turn 1, and then that little spin from the guys on the soft tires. Looking at it right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 drivers on the wets. Everybody else is on softs. The soft tires will probably show their betterness, their fasterness, speed, whatever the hell you want to call it, closer to
Nice adjectives, bud.
closer to the end of the race. Whereas right now the wet tires are going to show their power right now. Yeah, you can already tell Jack is able to really put on the pressure. Holy! There's 2 of
My
our
goodness.
cars got corrected
Oh,
in
my
that. That
goodness.
looks like Colin and that looked like Colin. Yep, that was Colin with Jack. That sucks. Hey, Jackson P20. He gained another spot from that. I don't know if he's taking any damage. Holy, this is just a gong show. This reminds me of like Forza public lobbies, dude. What the heck?
This is everybody on the softs, and this is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Is it's great if you're on the softs in the dry line, but as soon as you have to use any bit of the track, and you can see it's actually raining again here, so as soon as you have to use any bit of the track outside of that dry line, you have no control, you have no traction, and look at Jack. He's just able to drive around these guys because of the wet tires. So go Jack.
Yeah, Jack's all the way up at P16. He's just freaking flying down this track. After he gets through all the BS drivers, Jack is showing that he actually can compete with these guys instead of getting tossed around. Colin's up in P14, and Andrew is sitting pretty in P6. He's got a good little battle. Actually, it looks like I'm going to hop on board with Andrew for like a quick shake here, and then we'll come back to Jack. Just because this is the battle for like, yeah, there's all top 6 cars. We're in that shot. You could see all 6 cars, and first place and third place are on the softs at the moment. So, but as long as the soft tires stay on the dry line, like Howard was saying, they are fast. They're gonna be the faster tire. But as soon as you go too wide into a corner, like right there, the guy off the racing line is pooched. He's screwed. Andrew keeping the tires cold by using the wet line on the straights. Got to brake a little bit earlier than you want to when you're in the wet part on these soft tires, but kept it on track. Very well done. Let's hop back to Jack here. There's Colin. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. And he's once again going to be racing with the guy he's been racing with the last 2 races. So nothing new for him. And then here's Jack. Jack's got a nice little battle. This is for P15. So Jack is in 15th and this guy behind 16th. So that guy had a wicked launch out of that corner.
Yeah, but you can see he got off the
to.
the dry line and loses all his traction.
Another car off the track. Yep. And it looks like we've had 3 DNFs already. We're 4 laps in. We've had 3 DNFs. A little bit of a lag. Ooh, that was like a late break. Full send in the back there. Yep.
And look at that. That was a perfect example of how the wet tires can help you in this situation.
Yep. 100%. So these 5 drivers on the wets. Jack's up into P14 after passing that white car. So Jack in the middle of the pack where we expected him to be the first 2 races. Although he got taken out in both those races, this is where he should have been in both of those races. So this is a true show of Jack's skill here.
I'd love to see Jack come through with some points out of this race. That would be really that would bring back just bring it back for him so that he knows that he can compete with these guys.
And points are top 15. So I was correct in saying that the points are for the top 15 drivers. So Jack right now has got 2 points. If he finishes in 14th, he's getting 2 points, which will be fantastic for him. Oh, that guy drifting in front. Alberto Sartori in the energy car. Oh,
like he needs some more energy. Oh, Jack, keep it in the wet. Yeah.
That white car go flat across the screen. Holy. So the track is at 56% wetness right now. So that basically is saying that everywhere but the dry line is still wet. It's just slowly starting to dry out. And we've had another DNF. We're up to 4 DNFs and we're 5 laps in.
I would imagine that big power crash
killed everybody, unfortunately. Colin's up into P12. He's got a 5 or 6 second gap to P11 and a 5 second gap to P13. So he's got a lot of breathing room. And then Andrew is still battling for P4 or P3. Yeah, let's go have a gander. There's Colin all by himself. Here's Andrew in the thick of it. He's up into P5. Takes the pass on Thomas. Remember, these two were the ones that finished. These 2 cars finished 1-2. The orange car, TRACKSVR car, and the green and white Subaru SimX car finished 1-2 last race. So they know how each other race. They're very clean racers, and they're gonna hopefully help each other push through this group of cars in front. This is the battle for 3rd. This is a 5-car battle for 3rd place.
Look them almost like they're magnetized to each other's bumper there for a bit.
And it looks like the 2 cars in front, the reason why Andrew is having a hard time catching up is just because the 2 cars in front are on the wet tires, so they can use more of the track if they have to. Andrews looked like he was trying to force the inside there. Got to get back on that dry line. Thomas is caught right back up. Oh, lock up the brakes. Very well done from all the drivers. I'm going to say from all the drivers in the top like 10. And then Jack. Jack's doing very good. Oh, Jack's back into P15, so he's having a good battle for P14 and P15. Oh, Andrew, a little bit squirrely. Oh no. Let's looks like Jack had a little bit of he looks like he's going really slow.
I think those wet tires may be affecting the performance now. He really has to use the wet part of the track, which is getting smaller and smaller. So.
Oh, looks like a car was pulled over on the side there. Yeah, I don't know if he's got damage or what, but it looks like he does. Another 2 cars off the track. Jackson P15. Yet those soft tires can start to break a little bit later as long as you stay on the line now. The wet tires, the only bad thing, like Howard was saying last race, the only bad thing with those wet tires is they are gonna start to fall off really quickly here when the track starts to dry up. They get hot way faster. and they get to the point of being overheated, so they actually have less grip and less traction. So that's where the soft tires are going to start to come in handy.
Well, I think Jack's going to be able to manage okay. He looks like he's sticking in it. It's just harder and harder for him to find the wet surface. He really has to stay to the outside of the outside to stay in that wet zone.
Yeah, he's got a good race ahead of him, but it's going to be a difficult one. He's sitting in P15. He's got about a 1.5 second gap to the cars behind. As long as he keeps doing his thing, he should be okay. And it looks like we've had another DNF. And Andrew, the battle for P3 is now the battle for P4, as P3 has started to really drive away from P4. So Jack doing a very good job. Looks like he's gotten the handle of the car now. We've got 7 laps left. There's Colin all by himself. And here, oh, too far. There's Andrew. He's up. He's made it into P4, so now he's just got to push. He is faster than the 3 guys. Well, Thomas is back there too, but he's still faster than these 3 guys behind him. Andrew's just got to push hard now. There's the leader, or there's 3rd place just up ahead of him. Yeah, Andrew has pulled a massive gap. And that car in 3rd place ahead of him is on the wet tires, so Andrew is definitely going to have the advantage on him now. These soft tires are going to be up to temperature now. And the track is definitely dried out quite a bit. We're at about 53% wetness, so that dry line is officially dry. The only wet parts are the really dark patches that you see on the road. This also helps viewers see what the driving line is for certain tracks.
Yeah, if everyone knows, if you've ever been down to TRACKSVR, we don't have driving lines. We don't have track maps. Just like the real world, you have to learn how to drive the track and the car to the track. So, but this does show you, the visualizing of the actual driving line, so you can get through the corners faster and use all the track to your best advantage.
Exactly, and you see that that is Denis Ishenko. That was the 2nd place point standing driver, using all the wet line he could on that start-finish straight to try to cool those tires off. Now that Andrew's passed, Andrew's just going to drive away. So Andrew's got a 9-second gap to P2. He's got a lot of work to do to make it up to P2, and then the gap from P1 to P2 is 5 seconds. So Andrew's got a lot of work to do to try to catch 1st place. But that's what makes the BTCC so interesting, is anybody can win any race. It's not going to be the same winner every race, which is always a nice thing.
That makes it interesting for you, the viewer. Again, like I said before our first race in qualifying, if you guys are watching, thank you. First of all, we appreciate it. If you like what you see, throw a subscribe, like, follow, comment, send us an email expressing your eternal gratitude and love for us. And even if it isn't eternal, just for right now would be fine.
Looks like we've had another DNF. So we're up to 6 DNFs now. We're just going to pop back here, see what Colin's doing. Oh, he's doing some off-roading. Okay, cool.
He's mowing the lawn. Excellent. Good job, Colin.
Yeah, he's in no man's land. He's got a 20-second gap to 12th, and he's got a 7-second gap to 10th. So he's got a lot of room to make up too. Let's go on board with Jack here. Jack's still sitting in P15. He's doing a good job with those wet tires, holding these guys off. He's got 6 laps left to go too. So lots of race. Oh, he's out from the beach. Oh, and he hit the wall. I don't know if he's going to take a lot of damage from that. He's going to be down in P17. Looks like he's doing okay. This corner will be the... Yeah, it looks like he's doing okay. Then he might have just tapped the wall and hit the side of it and just took some minor fender damage or something, but so far the handling of the car looks to be okay.
That's just the difference between the wet line and the dry line there. His wet tires are probably overheated and just giving him very little traction. Look at how hard it is for him to find the brake point for this corner 3 here.
Very well done keeping on the track, yeah. That's okay. That's another spot loss, but that's okay. We've now got 7 DNFs. There's only 19 drivers left in the race. Jack's doing very, very well. He's definitely dealing with a lot of adversity all 3 races, I guess. I'm just glad that he made it through the 2 very big shenanigans at the start of this race cleanly, without too much hassle, and he's doing very good. He's doing very well. Keeps it on track this time in the double apex right-hander. Yeah, he's trying to keep his tires cool. They gonna be hot.
This guy better not bump him, man.
This is the guy he had a battle with in the very last race of the F3 league, and they look to be very clean. So hopefully he keeps it the same in this race and keeps it clean, because I know Jack will just go off the handles if he gets bumped one more time. But looks like he's leaving it clean. He's making sure it's a clean race. He doesn't want to take the spot without it being like fair. Exactly.
Yeah. You are struggling for adjectives
I'm just
today,
struggling
sir.
to talk today, man. I don't know what it is. I'm honestly just struggling to talk.
Let me grab my thesaurus for you, bud.
I need everything. Dictionary, thesaurus. Need to go back to school. Oh. Yeah, very well done, Jack.
Oh, Jack,
Very
well done to
dude.
recover.
Very well done. Can't feel bad about that. Cannot feel bad. They were drag racing into the chicane. Cannot feel bad about that.
Definitely has to cool those tires down. Look at him. He's just he's really struggling to keep it on track. Guys, if none of you have sim raced before, you need to understand that you can feel all this stuff. It is this hard to keep these cars on track. All this stuff, as I was saying earlier, with R Factor 2 and its superior physics, all this stuff is stuff that you're feeling, and it's stuff that your car is experiencing, thereby making it harder for you to keep control. And you can see Jack dip into the wet zone there just to get a little bit of cooling for a second, so that he can try and get a little bit of braking power into the corners, because wow, is it a struggle on those wet tires in the dry racing line.
Yeah, he just needs to get that, let them cool off just a hair, just so they grip the road. Wet tires, when they get hot, they stay hot. They do not cool off very fast. Whereas a soft tire, if you get it hot, it cools off pretty quick. That's what they're made to do. But the wet tires, they're made to stay cool and not get hot, because once they do, they're fun to drive in if you know how to handle the car, and you're just doing it to have fun and drift around in. But for the most part, it's not fun.
This first place here, Lucas, coming up on Jack.
99, I think so. Yep. Yeah.
That was nicely done by both Arturus and Jack to observe the blue flags and get out of the way.
Stay on the grass. This is going to be another blue flag coming up behind. I think this is Adam Smith. Yep, that's Adam Smith in the tag car. Jack's got a nice little gap to Arcturus. Now he's got a 3-second gap to the car behind. Oh, really struggling to find grip. The hard braking points. Oh, and here comes Andrew. Good job. Good spatial awareness. See, that's the kind of awareness all drivers should have when they're racing. It's not that hard. Use your mirrors. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and the flags come up, and you also have a crew chief talking in your ear, letting you know where cars are and stuff, right? So no, I mean, this is just showing racecraft here, regardless of placement. This is showing racecraft.
Exactly. Let's go up to... Where's Colin? There's Colin. Colin's up into P9 now. He's made his way past some guys. I'm assuming they either went off track. Looks like everybody's gone off track at least once this race. So we'll just chalk it up to they just went off track, went wide. But yeah, it looks like Andrew and Colin are kind of in no man's land. Oh, Colin's catching up to, where is he? P8? Oh yeah, this is a wet tire guy. Yeah, Colin will catch this guy, no problem. Yep, see how he's staying on that car in front is staying on that wet line? He's got to cool those tires off. Yeah, Colin's gained probably 2 seconds in like 3 corners, just because of the tire difference now. We're at 48% wetness. Yeah, track's pretty dry. Oh, locking up the brakes. Yeah, that is not a corner you wanna get caught out in. Very well done. If Colin can get a good run out of this corner, stay nice and tight, just like that, sucked along like a magnet. That's exactly what you want to do, stay nice and tight. Drag race to turn 1. Oh, Colin's gonna drift a first little bit of it, and then he goes wide.
I'm going wide there, yeah. Ooh.
Is he gonna? Oh yeah, I think he wants that spot back because he thinks he passed him off track, but no, Colin was ahead before he went off track, so
yeah,
does not
I
have
agree
to
with
get
that.
the spot back. Yeah, he's getting flashed again. Hey, we're used to Colin flashing us. Yeah, it's his turn to get flashed. Screw it.
Yes, anybody who's raced against Colin before knows that he likes liberal use of his flashy lights.
And then Andrew likes the liberal use of any cars that have a horn. So if you ever come down and race Andrew in a car that has a horn, beware, he will use it. Very well done by Colin. This is a very good race for P8. Although Colin will start to just drive away now. Those soft tires are gonna be nice and warmed up. We got, this actually should be the last lap. Yeah, this will be last lap. So he's got like 3 corners left to go. So Andrew with a P3 finish. Colin's gonna get a P8 finish. And let's go back to Jackaboy. Where's Jackaboy? There's Jackaboy. Well done, Jack with the P19. So he got to finish his race. This is what he wanted. He got to finish the race. Is he gonna do some donuts for us in the grass?
Yes. Come on, donuts.
Come
we
on,
want to
Jack,
see
do some
donuts. Donuts, Jack.
No, we're just gonna pick no. So that just goes to show you he does not want to do any donuts. Well raced from all 3 drivers, though. Well raced. Let's see if we can find the other 2. There they are, sitting there side by side. Andrew is on the left, Colin is on the right, and I can see Andrew's headlights on. So Andrew is on the left, Colin is on the right.
Well raced by our drivers here. We're going to give them a short break as they get up and out of their seats, and we'll see if they want to have. I think Andrew will probably wouldn't mind doing an interview But fair enough if Jack doesn't want to. He had a tough day. We're just happy for him. He finished that third race. So good job by all our drivers today, putting up with adversity, struggle shoes, wet weather. All the stuff that can go wrong went wrong. So that just finishing is and decent results out of our whole team today. So I'm as always I'm proud of them. We're going to take a quick break here and see if we can get some interviews to end up our stream today. Thank you for watching, everyone. We love you.
Have you been locked up all year? Tired of the same old routine? We've got you covered at TRACKSVR. We have 12 full motion simulators incorporating VR technology, put you in the driver's seat of a race car. With our team of sim experts, we can help guide you whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran. From Ferrari to AlphaTauri and all the teams in between, we've got the largest selection of F1 racing merchandise in Western Canada. We clean all the equipment before and after each use and disinfect all high touch points. Forget about the Zoom presentation on Monday. Forget about the holes in the wall for your kids' virtual soccer practice. Bring your future champions down here. We're open for retail viewing and product testing. We want to bring our passion for racing to you here at TRACKSVR.
Alrighty, let me just pause the music here. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. I got Andrew with me. After his amazing 3 races, he got a third, second, and a third. So we're just looking at the point standings. They updated them right away, which is nice. So Andrew is sitting P7th overall, and the only driver so far out of the first 2 rounds to get the podium every race. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, it was awesome. It went exactly to plan, pretty much. You know, yeah, the weather made it super challenging, and you know, once you kind of, I think racing in the rain, it's really scary for a lot of drivers because lap to lap, corner to corner, you don't know how much grip is there because the conditions are changing every lap. But I think the best drivers kind of just accept that it's different each time. They're going into the unknown, and they apply all the experience they have, all the knowledge, and it's not scary anymore after that. The rain's just rain, right?
Basically, I know that's a lot of people. It's like thunderstorms, right? A lot of people are afraid of thunderstorms. Once you just sit out and just look at it and go, it's not dangerous. It's you get used to it, right? So last week you said you're balls to the wall, elbows out. We definitely seen some of that from a lot of the drivers today. You seem to take off no problem. I mean, you started P2 in race 1, you started P2 race 3 or race 2, and then you started what, was it P7 or P8 in race 3?
I believe it was 7, Rick. Yeah, 7.
So that's, I mean, and then you came back. You had a lot of work to do just to reach P3 with all that battling and stuff. So
Yeah, and the ballast weight as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you were a thick boy. You had what, an extra 54 kgs added?
Yeah, I think that's right. So the second most out of anyone, but yeah. Yeah, I like some of these guys, they drive very aggressively. I know I'm fast. I don't have to resort to any dirty tricks to get to the front of the grid. And even in the second race, I think you said you might have missed it on the stream, but I got into Tamaz Galab a little bit in the hairpin. It's just a very light touch, just enough to get him sideways, just because I didn't do it on purpose. I was just miscalculated it very, very slightly. But it was enough to give me an advantage on the exit, and I was ahead of him. But I knew I didn't want to risk taking a penalty, because even a a P3 result would be still very good, right? Especially in a championship that's this long, this difficult with the success ballast. So I pulled over and gave him the position back. And hopefully some of the other guys, some of the other racers see that and follow that example of good sportsmanship, right? Because I don't think we really saw that in the first race, but if I can set a good example and the other guys, yeah, I think it's only guys, but the other people, I'll say, follow that example, I think it's going to be a lot more fun for everyone, and the cream will rise to the top.
Exactly, like we've always said, is you let your speed do the talking. You don't let your dirty racing do the talking, right? Better to be known for how fast you are instead of how dirty you are. So a lot of those drivers, as you said, are not the cleanest racers. They might be pushing too hard or whatever, but they got to learn to keep it clean before they can push hard. So very well done. Yeah, you got a P2. We did catch you give the spot back to Tamaz after the hairpin, because I seen your Delta really catch up to him, and I was going as fast as I could to switch the cameras, and too many cars, and I couldn't get there on time. But we saw you give the spot back, and we figured it was just you tapped him or something out of the hairpin, and we're like, yeah, I'll just give it back, which is easily the most sportsman thing you can do when you know that it's something that clearly gave you an advantage, even though it was so small. What are your thoughts going into next round, knowing that you're P7 and probably the only very consistent driver at the moment?
Yeah, I think off the top of my head, I might have scored more points than anyone else that this round in those three races there. So I think yeah, that's a great position to be in, and yeah, I'm gonna keep this momentum up. I think I said last week that I'm not gonna be screwing around in the back, getting into battles with these guys. I'm gonna be at the front of the grid, fighting for race wins, fighting for the championship, and doing that in a sportsman-like fashion, and plan to continue that.
Very well said. Yeah, I'm just calculating the points. The only one that scored more points than you today was Tomas, because he had 2 race wins. So
Yes.
he had 53 points and you had 47 points. So you only lost out by 3 points there, and the gap or 6 points.
No, maybe I shouldn't have.
Give him
Maybe
the
I shouldn't have
spot
given
back.
that position back.
I mean, you're really only 5 points behind him, and you're only 19 points behind first place. And first place did not have a good showing today. First and second place did not have a good showing today, so that just goes to show.
Chico and Lopez. I think they both made the wrong call on the tires in the final race, and that cost them big time. I think they both went with wets. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that was the case. And so, yeah, I was able to pass them both. I was quite a bit faster than them. I was on the better tire, but Lopez especially defended quite hard. I think, I just applied the pressure as hard as I could and got by him without, resorting to any dirty tricks, right? And I think myself and Colin for our team, we both went with the softs. Jack, he had a bad first 2 races, so we thought we don't have nothing to lose gambling and putting him on the wets in case it starts raining more, right? So, and yeah, it sucks that those 2 guys, they had a pretty rough couple races there. It's really tough. This track's very narrow and very hard to overtake, especially when you're in the mid pack. So that's why my strategy coming into it, I want to qualify near the front, which I did. Got that P2 off it by I think a 10th, and then in the races just stay out of trouble the first lap or so, and then don't battle anyone. Don't waste time. Just break away from the pack and get some clear air and secure a good points position.
Yeah, and that seemed to be exactly what you did. And like you said, Colin and Jack just being in the middle of the pack, that's where all the shenanigans were. Every race, first lap, I think we had 3 DNFs in the first lap every race, and then it just escalated from there. We had 7 DNFs by the end of race 3. So I think that all came from the collision, the big crash that Colin and Jack were both stuck in. Which is not their fault, I don't think. It looked like everybody else kind of just slammed their brakes going to the chicane, and they got the shit end of the stick. Any final words for the sponsors or anything? Just the FN40s this series. So, viewers, anything you want to say hi to? Nick is obviously here watching.
Yeah, hi Nick. I know. Thanks to the sponsors helping us, get this done. The 95 TRACKSVR Subaru was fast today. And yeah, I'm just glad I was able to put in a good performance for the whole team. Yourself, Howard, my teammates, Jack, Colin. Yeah, so thank you guys, and let's go to the next one. I'm looking forward to it already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks, Andrew, for giving us your 2 cents about the races, and congratulations on a P3, 2 P3s and a P2. That momentum I know will be carried forward come next round. Where are we racing? Donington Park, right? Next round, I think.
Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, like you say, I'm planning on keeping this momentum up. It's kind of like the last season in the Formula 3 cars. I think I scored more points than anyone in the second half of the season, and I want to keep that kind of momentum going. I had a tough first race in Silverstone, just had a lot of contact. I got taken out 2-3 times, But I'm at the pace that I want to be, and I think we can go even faster.
Well said, Andrew. Congrats again. We'll let you go. Probably get some food, all that good stuff, clean up. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much and congrats, man.
Thanks, Rick.
No problem, dude. All right, guys, that's it for us. We're all done here for the day. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks to the FN40s podcast. We really appreciate you guys sponsoring the cars. I know the drivers really enjoy it, really appreciate it. Howard really appreciates people putting their sponsorships out for these cars. It really helps us, helps the drivers a lot, lets them get some more practice in and stuff like that. Howard, you got any final words you want to say before we shut down here?
Yeah, just again, honorable mentions out to our good friends at Elite Brewing, AJ and Scuba Steve and Ty coming in, and Amy coming in and racing against us. We didn't think you knew what you're getting yourself into when you challenged us, but no, it was great fun. And again, we love their support, and we want to support them. So Elite Brewing, they're on Edmonton Trail. Check them out, guys. Go down for a cold brew on a hot day and have some nachos. Great fun. Also, FN40's podcast, like Rick said, and to the whole crew there, you guys are awesome. We just want you to know that. And that includes the crew at the Blind Beggar, and much like a lot of restaurants and bars, they have all new staff. That's a lot of what COVID did. So give your support to all the local restaurants and bars and pubs out there, guys. They really need it. Just like us as we come through this, we appreciate all of your business. Honorable mention to Nick, Nick Toe, our good friend. I know you're listening, bud. So thank you for commenting today. And we make sure because Nick raced with us against Elite Brewing, and of course our drivers, guys, Colin Sanders, Andrew Parkinson. Wow, what a race today on his part, and Jack, who declined to be interviewed today for understandable reasons. You know what? He really raced through a lot of adversity, and that's what it's all about. So there we go. That's it for me today. As always, guys, we love you all. Take care.
Well said, Howard. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Nick, thanks for commenting, letting us know we're not alone in this universe. Thanks to Elite Brewing for challenging us. We look forward to the next challenge. Thanks to the FN40's podcast. You guys are awesome. Not just only for sponsoring us, but for being amazing people. All your local businesses, guys, always support local before you support the big 1%. They always appreciate it more. But other than that, we're headed off to Thruxton next week, so be back here Tuesday. Where are we here? I don't even have a calendar. That's July in front of me here. Tuesday, July 13th, I think, at 1 p.m. We'll be here again, showing off Thruxton. It's a track I'm not familiar with, so I'm gonna have to do all my research for next stream, which will be good. I'll get to do some laps on a track I've never done laps on before. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. As Howard said, we love you guys, and we will see you guys in a week. Ciao.